up next, we have John in New York. Hey, John, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Big fan of the show. Hi, John. Hi, Rachel. How are you today?
We're doing great. Thanks for giving us a call. How can we help?
All right, I have a tough one.
Okay.
I have $170,000 remaining balance on my 15-year fixed mortgage,
Okay.
2.0% rate, so it's a great rate. Financial advisor and accountant insist I should not pay it off.
As they all do.
However, I have about $170,000 in savings. The problem is I skipped the baby step, and I have no college savings for the kids.
Okay.
If I pay it off, I have no other debt. I can immediately start that. So I did skip that baby step.
What's your mortgage?
Really, pay it off.
170.
Sorry?
No, what do you pay every month in your mortgage?
Principal and interest is about $2,600.
Okay.
How old are your
Not
kids?
including the property tax. 11, 7, and 5.
Okay.
And household income is about $400.
Oh,
a year.
nice. Okay.
Can I tell you what I'm doing in my house?
Yes, sir.
If I have a 12-year-old and a 6-year-old, and if I was in your exact same boat, and I had $170,000 in savings, I would pay my house off before the end of the day is over. Full stop.
You know, I've always gotten I love it. I've always gotten the advice that, God willing, I can continue to work, and when they start college, I'd pay for that out of my earnings. So I never really, started anything up.
Yeah.
With the anticipation that I would hopefully pay this off.
Absolutely. Yep.
If I pay it off, though, emergency fund is gone, so I should probably wait a few months to get that up.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't cash it all out.
Oh,
leave a little bit.
That's including your emergency fund too?
Yeah. I think so.
Don't do that.
That would.
Yeah, keep 3 months, and then but write a big check tonight. I mean, like have a level of it to be like, oh, okay, we're getting there. And yes, what you're saying with your income, with your income level, obviously depending on where your kids go to school, because they all won't be in school together at the exact same time, that you may be able to cash flow it completely just off of your income. But the question is, will you have that same level of income in 10 years?
Let me do this. Here's some back of the napkin math, okay? I'm just using my cell phone calculator here. If you take that $2,600 that you pay every month and multiply it by 12, that's $31,000 a year you're sending, not including your taxes, okay? Your child is 11. Is that what you said? Your oldest?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 7 years until they go to college. So if I just take $31,000 times 7, that's $218,000. That's $220,000 that you can have by not changing your life in any shape, form, or fashion, just continuing to pay your mortgage. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not cash flowing. That's just if you just kept making your mortgage payment and stuck it in a 0% earning checking account. You'd still be way ahead of most parents.
So you feel, do this in 2 steps, do a big chunk, build the emergency fund up, get it to 3 months, and then finish it off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to write a $170,000 check, and you're going to go screaming down Manhattan Boulevard tonight, so happy, and then tomorrow morning your air conditioner's going to break, and then you're not going to be happy anymore.
The fact that it's a good rate and it's 2%, and it's an attractive mortgage, so to speak, that has no bearing whether my rate's 2% or 5%.
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us weird. This is where we're different than majority of a financial advisor or a tax pro out there, or at least ones that we don't recommend at Ramsey. But the norm out there is that they're playing a math game, John. So on the math side, could you invest that mortgage payment, or keep the mortgage and not have a low interest rate? I mean, all the math game that is played in that industry, like we have brains, like we see it and we're like, that I get what they're saying, where you could take this chunk of money and invest it and you could make more in the market versus what you're, having to pay an interest on your house, all of that. Like mathematically, there's I get it.
That could happen.
But John, like what freedom does to you and what peace does to you when you don't owe anyone anything changes the game.
You're in downtown New York?
No, suburban New Jersey.
Okay. Think back to 30 months ago. Rachel and I were in downtown Manhattan when they came out of Broadway and said Broadway is closed until further notice as COVID was kicking off. We were in there in March. I think March.
Yeah, we had a big work event that we were doing, and we were all down there.
Yeah.
All the Ramsey personalities, and we were literally there. Yeah,
So
they canceled the NBA.
Go back
everything.
to that moment and imagine not having a house payment. Do you give a crap what the interest rate is back then? No.
Not really.
No.
And then the idea of, or the age-old saying of cash is king, and holding cash and having more than your emergency fund and just sitting on it while you have the mortgage, that's a fallacy in your opinion, right? It's like cash is king, but I have debt. So
you're solving for freedom,
Right.
brother.
Right.
You're solving for freedom. And when you have debt and you've got savings, all you're doing is holding the bank's money for them. It's not your money because you owe it.
correct.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
you have cash is king, but you don't have cash. You've got their money just in your account. So I would just give it to them. Like what does Happy Gilmore say? Just send him home. Just send him home.
Just send them home.
Just send him home, man. Hey, congratulations, my brother.
Yeah,
And,
John, well done.
90 days, you're free. Free.
Appreciate it.
That's it. I know. Well done, John. You've done a
awesome.
fantastic job. Absolutely incredible. And yeah, and that's what's interesting about what we encourage you guys to do is, again, debt is so normal, and people play the math game over and over and over and over and over. And what's not in the math game is risk. What's in the math game is not fear. What's not in the math game is sleeping at night. What's not in the math game is not owing anyone anything and having literally no one that has their name on your paycheck. I mean, there is just something to be said that can't be put in a formula. But we are, as human beings, like our soul, who we are and how we function, there's a lot there that, again, a tax pro isn't always going to just sit down and help you have those conversations.
Well, I'm always just, this is hard, man, but I always want to ask somebody when they're giving advice, do you stand to benefit from this advice, right? And that's why I appreciate calling us. We're just a neutral third party out here on the airwaves, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do in my house, right? I'm actively working to set myself up to be in the position that John is in, right? For that very reason. And my interest rate's almost identical to his. It's basically nothing, right?
Yeah.
And it's not about the interest rate. It's about absolutely being free.
And here's the great thing, too. If you want a mortgage again after you pay it off, you can always go get
Yeah,
one if
go
you really want
borrow
one.
one. If you miss it and you're like, I missed
we
the
really
mortgage,
want
honey.
that mortgage payment back. We're going to go back and get one.
Your wife's going to tell you, hey,
can.
have a candlelit dinner. Say, I have a hard thing I need to tell you. He's going to think, what is it? She'll say, I missed the mortgage.
Just missed that mortgage.
Missed that
payment.
mortgage.
I missed all that money. That $2,600 just leaving.